Are you walking around with a 200-pound gorilla on your back?
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing broken. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. I'm your host, Eric Brown, and with me, Mr. Mike Jones
Hey,
in the house.
What's up? What's up, man? You walking around with a 200-pound gorilla on your back?
I mean, I'm going to give that monkey to you for sure is what I'm going to do. That's your monkey.
That's a question that I have for you. And the question is, has anything occurred in your life? Now, I know that this is a rhetorical question, but be with me just for a second. And I'm truly asking that you listen with the intent to be influenced. Have you ever experienced something in your life? Somebody stabbed you in the back. Somebody hurt you. You got cheated on. A business deal went bad with a business partner, and you're still holding a grudge. That's like carrying a 200-pound gorilla on your back. And I'm encouraging you to truly listen as we dive into this and focus on helping you to get that gorilla off of your back.
Yeah, so Mike, I know it's a rhetorical question, but myself and our listeners out there, all of us are going to answer yes to that at some point. So how do you get rid of that gorilla?
So first of all, you got to understand, as Eric said at the beginning of it, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing's broken and nothing needs to be fixed. In the context of this conversation, when you are holding a grudge, it is preventing you from loving every person in your life fully because you are carrying the weight of that gorilla, and that takes energy, that takes focus. That takes some of everything that you have in order to maintain that grudge. You are blocking your own heart off from being able to truly experience other relationships because of you carrying that gorilla around. Let me tell you a story real quickly about these two monks. And when I read this story, I thought exactly about things that I have carried in my own life that I could see through this story. There were two monks, and they came upon this river. When they got to this river, there was a woman at the riverbank who had injured herself in her attempt to cross the river. Now, it was taboo for a monk to ever touch a woman. However, one of these monks, being a very compassionate person, allowed the woman to get on his back, and he carried her a short distance to her village. After miles and hours of walking with the other monk, at the end of several hours, the other monk demonstrated his anger and his displeasure toward the monk who had carried the woman. He said to him, he says, "I cannot believe that you broke your oath, that you went against everything that you signed up for as a monk, and you carried that woman, you touched that woman." And that monk, who was a very compassionate man, said, "You know what? I put her down miles ago, and you're still carrying her now." My question to you is, what happened in your life long time ago in many cases that you're still carrying that hurt, that you're still holding that grudge? I would encourage you to release it by forgiving them and maybe even forgiving yourself. Because this is not a conversation about getting over what happened. Not asking you to do that. However, I'm encouraging you to get on with it and put that grudge away.
So what you're saying is wherever you may have a grudge, that could actually be a resource in the context of that conversation?
Okay, so the grudge could be a resource if you transformed the negative that occurred into something positive. Because I guarantee you, in the context of this conversation, if you made the choice to reframe whatever happened, you could find a way to benefit the relationships that you're in now based on whatever happened in that past.
Okay, so what you're saying is that positive and negative exist in that moment. You find the positive.
Absolutely. I would encourage you to do that, recognizing that both of them are available to you, and whatever happened, happened. Again, this is not a conversation about getting over what happened. Many times that was some very serious, very hurtful stuff. But this is a conversation about getting on with it.
So you heard it here first. It's okay to forgive yourself.
And it's also okay to forgive them and move on with your life. Get that 200-pound gorilla off of your back by releasing whatever negative energy that you have about whatever happened. And again, I'm Mike Jones, and if you are not living your life on the edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Here we go now.
Here we go now.